It's not about the flowers, it's about the source. Flowers don't work if you're just average Joe Schmo, but if you're a Tinder swindler. We have been experiencing a couple of tumultuous years by now, and I would like to remind you that individuals do not bear response for what governments do. With that being said, I would like to present you a video, a light-hearted one, where we talk about how dating looked like before, some decades ago, or more specifically, how dating looks like in Russia, how they still hold on to conservative values, and how come we have abandoned most of them. I'll do some comparisons and draw some parallels on how we do it now and why things don't function in the similar dynamic as they do in Russia.
Find the truth about Russia and Russian girls. Trust me, I'm a real Russian girl.
And I am a real Russian man.
And here's the reason you need to turn on subtitles. Meet my cousin.
Anyway, I am started. Number 1. Russian girls like flowers. In Russia, flower shops work around the clock. Why? Let me explain. At meetings of good old friends, we drink not fresh juice, if you know what I mean. So, it's better to go home with a bouquet of flowers to distract attention from your drunkenness. While she is sniffing flowers, you have 5 minutes to fall into bed and pretend to be asleep. But once a year, on March 8, flowers are given for another reason. This day is known as the International Women's Day.
The thing with flowers is that it doesn't work today. That gesture with flowers is so old, so in the past, that I don't know where to begin. First of all, women interpret that as desperation in the Western world because they have so many options that you giving them flowers showcases that you don't have any options yourself and you are so desperate for their attention that you would do anything to trigger it. Flowers don't work if you're just a average Joe Schmo. But if you're a Tinder swindler, then a lot of bouquets with roses would do the trick. Because the woman will be surprised by actions of someone outstanding, giving her so much attention, making her to feel special. You see, it's not about the flowers, it's about the source, where those come from. Women are great with reading in between the lines. And they're very keen to body language, presentation, and what you are trying to signal. If you're a hotshot millionaire, sending flowers for several $100s to someone's home address, you will surely impress them. But as I told before, if you're a Joe Schmo and you are giving a bouquet to your first date, then you're basically saying that I'm already all over you. I'm totally sold and would like to marry you. Like right now. The reason why this works in Russia because the dating market is still regulated there. It's about limitations. They have hierarchies. They have enclosed structural dynamic on how to proceed if you want to pursue someone. If you are a young woman and you sleep around, then you are no good slut. If you are 40 plus bachelor man and you don't have any family, then you are considered to be a loser. There's something fishy and wrong with you because you don't have stability, you don't have responsibility enough to start a family and have kids. You're essentially infantile and no good son of a gun.
And in Russia it is accepted that on this day men give flowers to women. And don't ask us how this has to do with feminism. It hasn't.
Russian girls like gallantry. When he opened the door for her, when he lent a hand. You know, feminist views are not very popular among girls in Russia.
But this is permissible on a date and only. At work, a Russian girl will not tolerate an indulgent attitude. At work, we all, women and men, are professionals. And you should stick to this course if you don't want to get a stepper in the forehead. Russian girls are Russians too, you know. They can be tough if they want.
Basically being a chivalrist, a gentleman, opening doors, holding their hands, putting your jacket on the puddle for her to cross over. Those kind of small gestures from the past that we here in West totally abandoned are still somewhat appreciated in Eastern Europe and other more conservative countries like in Asia. And by Asia, I mean the whole Asia, not just the eastern part. As I mentioned before, those regions still have this enclosed structural dynamic of dating where you basically have to get married in order to have sex with someone, which is not totally true, but you know what I mean. If you want something to be accepted in the society by your peers, by your parents, by your friends, by your colleagues, you have to do things the right way. You have to be a provider, your wife has to be a good homekeeper. And for you to see if your potential partner checks off those boxes, you have to go on a date. Don't get it twisted. Both parties should test each other for compatibility. And the reason why we don't do that in the same way in West is because we have Freedom is because we have deregulated sexual market. Women are being empowered to live the lifestyle as men did before them. But whether it ends up backfiring at them, it's another topic. By that same empowerment, they are not beholden to stick to the same guy. So if the guy behaves like he doesn't have any options, they automatically lose interest because they have the whole world at their feet as a dating market. Internet, my friend. Internet.
A Russian girl will like if you don't just invite her to a restaurant, but arrange a romantic date. But forget about surprises. We don't like to be unprepared. I want to know where we will go and what we will do because I want to have appropriate dress and shoes. And prepare not one plan for a date, but several. We need alternatives. Yeah.
Number 4.
I wouldn't totally agree with that. I think surprises are good because women love emotions, emotional indignation, and for them to try to figure out your plans, what you are up to and your potential would drive them crazy in a positive way. But what you could do instead is to hand them the note about the dress code. That's all they need to know. And I would say that this advice applies not only for Russian girls. You have to be decisive and very straight to the point when you are setting up dates so that the woman you are trying to date will understand that you are no jokester, that you mean business.
Russian girls like to make an impression on others. If she dressed up, but no one complimented her, she would be very upset. So, if you see that she is dressed up, be sure to compliment her. But I warn you, do not say that she looks great today. She will immediately ask, so, you think that before today I looked bad, right?
Russian girls like to get married.
I call it bullshit. Giving compliments just ensures that she has you in her pocket. If you're not giving out compliments left and right, then she will make it even higher priority for herself to try to please you, which puts you in a driving position because she will start to pursue you. She will start to chase you. Besides, if you're not giving compliments and she gets offended, then it's her problem. And if the date becomes ruined just because of that, then it's really her problem, mental problem.
She expects that you ask her to become your wife after a year of relationship. But keep in mind that in the second month of the relationship, she already will begin to imagine your wedding and style of her wedding dress.
You see, I mentioned this before, that you have to be formally married to someone in order to sleep with them, considering the person is of higher quality, upper echelon of the society, because they want to have commitment before they give up the goods. And in reality, this always concerns those who are oblivious to the fact that sometimes girls just want to have fun too. And when they want to marry, they are done with playing and they don't see you as the part of the game. It's time to be serious. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide. You shouldn't cave just because you think that you will lose a good one.
So be very careful when you are dating a Russian girl. You will not notice when you lose freedom, lose friends, when you started watching cheesy rom-coms and stupid TV shows, when you started walking a little screechy nasty dog in a pink suit.
That's all, folks.
I agree with that statement actually. Many guys, when they get girls, when they become husbands and fathers, they become complacent. Laziness takes over, the sofa and chips becomes a usual occurrence in the house. They stop courting their woman. And women always needs some kind of an emotional high. If you're not creating one, you're killing the romance. More videos on gender dynamics. What's your experience with Russian girls? Tell me in the commentary section. But for now, Tovarish out.